Ring, 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 ring. Rip. Hey guys, just gonna do an intro to this video so you know what's gonna be in it. What I have in this video for the Honda Hobbit build, I start with the PULLSTART mechanism, and so I set that up, and that's gonna be on, if you guys remember, the HPI. And so this adapter goes on there to make it PULLSTART, because I need to do that because I don't have starter clutches in there anymore. So the other way to do it is to put a one-way roller bearing, but I chose to go with the PULLSTART, so I can just PULLSTART it there. After that, I move into the front wheel and I work on the hub, and I do the brakes. I change out the brakes to the TREATLAND race brake pads that have the slit grooves in them. And then from there, I work on the bearings and things like that. When I was tearing apart the bearings, they were kind of stiff and getting stuck, and I was going to rebuild it anyways. Especially anytime I do a rebuild, I try and either it has sealed bearings or I re-grease or check the bearings. Especially for high-speed builds, you want to make sure everything's good because you don't want to mess up going fast. So I checked all that and had to make a little tool. I'll put in the video what the tool's called that you can actually buy, but I just made a tool myself because I didn't have access to one. Yeah, and then from there I put on the tire and tube. I went with a white wall look on these. TREATLAND has white wall race tires. They're rated up to, I think, 90 miles per hour. Anyways, good enough for this build. And I also work the exhaust in this one, so I set that up. Some people were asking if it's big enough. I think it is. The header was 30 mils, which was the same as the header that came with the Stage6. It's also a higher hitting pipe, so like the RPM range is higher, which this is a higher RPM kit, so I think it should complement it. Especially because my stall out is at about 4,500 for the clutch with the Malozzi red springs that I'm using. So I have that set up, and I think that's it for this video. So enjoy, and we'll have this thing running soon. So I have this painted. And I'm gonna finish building it, the PULLSTART, and then I'll go on here. Here's my buddy. Can you say hi? So I had to put spacers in there to make it fit. What do you think, Myron? Here, you want to PULLSTART it? Pull it. Oh yeah, we just installed that. Here, maybe Dad will help. You like? Almost. You gotta get a little stronger. Yeah, PULLSTART. Yeah, we'll see. Perfect. Okay, I took apart the old brakes and now I'm putting in these new shoes. These are the old ones. New brakes. We'll see how these do. New race shoes installed. So I'm having an issue where, I don't know if you can see it, I don't have a tool that's thin enough to get in there behind this bolt to hold it. So when I crank that outer bolt, it just pushes in together with the other one, and then it pushes too much strain on the bearings and like goes way too far in. So I'm gonna create a tool that can slide down in there with a piece of metal that's thin, and then I can crank that tight. Just here's a look at that tool again, if you guys want to make one of your own. Real simple, I just cut it out. I made it a little wide so it slid over easy, and then it got tight right around here, 16 mil the distance, 16 mil wrench. Sat in there, and just make sure when you do cut and flatten this down that you cut further up so that you have room to spin the nut, because the nut is 19 mils. So as you can see, it goes up underneath there. It's lower than obviously the nut, so that it doesn't get pinched under there. And then I hold this and I'll tighten that down. Okay, now that I did that, there's no play in this, and then so in theory, yeah. Before it was grinding, and there was I don't know, like some type of like thread or cotton. I don't know, something got stuck up in there, and the bearings were all nasty. So I took those out, I cleaned them, re-greased them, put them back in, and then I just made that tool that I slid over there to tighten this so that it didn't put too much pressure, but everything is sealed. And so now, obviously the bearings are way better, everything's tight, sealed, should be good. I can just let this keep spinning. Alright, it spins even better. Whoa. Whoa. So here's this. This is all set up. I showed you guys that already. Now this is the race brake hub. So you guys can see. This actually does slide in really nice. Spins good. And now I'll just put this nut on there. Yeah, but the main thing I wanted to show you was that does spin nice. And now this should spin or lock tight, and then this will go on there. Alright, new tires, brakes, bearings, everything. Spinning good. See how the brakes work? That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. It spins so well it even goes by itself. Alright, awesome. So I'm using the tape as a guideline. This will sit right here, and if we can see, it's hard to see. This will be right there. You can see the length and the angle. Sorry, let me focus. Using the tape as a guideline, you can see the angle of which I need it and where I need it cut. So it's tacked up now. Flow looks good. It's out of the way. I have clearance. It's perfect. What are we gonna do?
This.
What are we cutting? Are we cutting this?
Yes. And what is this?
That's a zip tie.
What is it for?
It's just to hold it for the mock-up. Where are we gonna put this tab that we're gonna cut off? Right there? Are we gonna weld it? We are. And is it gonna bolt here? Yeah? All right. Now I'm gonna relocate this tab to where I need it over here when it bolts up so that I can line up to the shock mount. So now I'm gonna take this that I cut off from the derby part of the pipe up there, the mount, and make it and weld it right in there. And that'll line up perfectly right there for that to come through with enough space for the nut to be out there. So that'll be good. And then I can still run a spacer on the inside if I need space between this and that rubbing, but I think the space I have, it should be perfect. see that spacing, but it just clears everything nice. Tight to the frame and go perfectly out.